Please give it up to your next speaker, Dr. Haleli Sharir.
So first, I'd like to thank the organizers for inviting us to speak today. My name is Haleli. I had the privilege to join Cannabics Pharmaceutical almost a year ago, and as of August 2018, I act as the head of research for our research facility in Rehovot. Some of you may know I'm not new to the field. I did my postdoctoral fellowship with Dr. Aboud at Temple University, where I studied the assignment of a new cannabinoid receptor, GPR55, as a potential cannabinoid receptor. So a little about our research facility. This is essentially a cancer and cannabinoids research center. We specialize in our compound library, which is composed of botanical extracts, synthetic analogs, and other compounds. We are licensed to conduct research by the Ministry of Health in Israel. And most importantly, we're using advanced technology. So basically, we established a state-of-the-art screening facility with high-throughput screening technologies. Some of you are not familiar with high-throughput screening, and this is essentially a scientific method which utilizes robotics, data processing tools, and then liquid handling devices and sensitive detectors to allow us to quickly execute multiple pharmacological tests. I don't know why it's doing it. Okay. So as I mentioned, we have established a cannabinoid research center, and we focus on cancer. Why cannabis? If you ask me, I am a big fan of cannabis. Cannabis is a natural product, and this is something that you all must bring in mind. Why cancer? As you all may know, cannabis, although there is not a clear indication for cancer, cancer patients do consume cannabis as part of their radiation and chemotherapy regime, and some of them choose not to give up the traditional regime and choose cannabis over it. Why is that? Because cannabis has been found to be effective in relieving chronic pains, nausea, and other symptoms associated with the treatment, with the traditional treatment. But importantly, cannabis has the potential to kill tumor cells. So this is a recent review published in 2018, and this basically summarizes the effect of cannabinoid extract, and I'm talking about botanical extracts and not synthetic analogs, in different cancer cell lines, which are the most popular model to study cancer. So as you can see, in breast cancer cells, the effect of THC and CBD was decreased viability of cells. There are different examples as for prostate cancers and other cancer cell lines. But this, I know that you might not be convinced unless you'll see actual pictures. So this is, those are images taken in our lab, and I'll walk you through it. On the left-hand side, we have cells which are non-treated, they're treated with our vehicle control. And you can see a very nice rounded nuclei of the cells. If we take a traditional chemotherapy medication as etoposide, which is used to treat many cancer types, you see that it causes cell death. But not surprisingly, one of our extracts at the same dose that we used like as the chemotherapy medication kills these osteosarcoma cell lines as well. I don't know. Okay, so what's the big challenge? In the back of the slide, you can see one of our robotics working to transfer compounds to our plate and basically to execute one of the assays we're running in the lab. So the big challenge is when we talk about cancer, cancer is not one disease. It's actually thousands of diseases, and as we know, it's the second cause of death worldwide. There are a billion types of genetic makeups. And then, as I said, 100 types of cancer. Now, if we take cannabis, okay, there are multiple kinds of strains, and each strain is different in its composition. So basically, when I compare strain 1 to when I compare two different strains, I cannot compare them when it comes to their THC content, CBD content, and I'm not even talking just about THC and CBD because we know that there are many, many ingredients. And then there are multiple kinds of strains. So how complicated is it really is? Say so the previous slide that I showed you where we killed cancer with one oil was only one oil. But now we looked into 16 different botanical extracts. So it might be difficult to follow, but we were comparing how good different extracts were good at killing cancer cells versus normal cells. So on the left-hand side is the survival rate of cancerous cells, and the upper panel is for normal cells. As you can see, most oils, they fall up here, meaning they are indifferent in their effect on cancer cells versus non-cancerous cells. But 4 oils were able to kill cancer cells, as you see, 0.2% viability, and did not kill normal cells. But it gets even much more complicated, and this is why I told you that we must utilize high-throughput screening technologies. So I know that this slide is even more overwhelming than the previous one. What I want you to remember is red means dead, and green means alive. So the redder the quadruplicate is, it means that we were successful in killing the cells, and if it's green, then we didn't kill the cells. For our experiments, we always use internal controls, and this is what you see on the left-hand side. The left-hand side is our negative control, meaning all the cells are alive. And on the right hand, this is our positive control, and all the cells are dead. And then we take 40 different extracts, and we apply them in 2 doses. And each quadruplicate is equivalent to 1 oil. So you can see that only some of the oils are good in killing these brain cancer cells, while others are not. Did I skip a slide? Oh, this brings me to the next question. So far I've shown you that botanical extract can kill cancer cells, osteosarcoma cells, and brain cells. These cells are not similar when it comes to their genetic makeup. And if I try to compare my genetic makeup versus like one of you in the audience, we have 2 different sets. And therefore, there is a shift from the old paradigm where one solution, when one medicine fits all, to personalized medicine. So basically, this is another example. This is an example for personalized medicine, but I'm still demonstrating on cancer cell lines. These are two types. Here I show two types of breast cancer. One is triple negative, and the other one is HER2 positive. And we always compare to healthy cells. 2 doses, and as you can see, some of the oils are better in killing the triple negative cell lines, but they fail to kill the HER2 positive cell lines. And I think, so the result has to do with the different genetic makeup. Each cancer cells are really good model when we study cancer and other diseases in the lab, but you have to bring in mind that they originate from different sources. So what's our goal? We only showed results done in the lab, in vitro, in the lab. But we want to take it to the next level. We hear stories about patients where they claim to have the same tumor, and one receives that extract, which helped him cure the cancer or even prolonged life, but had no effect on the other person. So how are we taking it from the lab and taking it to the next stage? Basically, the next stage is to receive specimens, real biopsies from people, and to run the same experimental system on tumor cells. So we can get specimen, extract the tumor cells, expand them, and then the way that we measured viability, measure the viability of thousands of extracts on a real specimen. Our end result is to be able to provide a report, a detailed report, which is data-driven to both the patient and the doctor. We are Cannabics, and we are for the patients, and that's for sure. I know it was kind of fast, like last but last, so I thank you for your attention, and I'd like to thank Eyal Balan and Eyal Barad for having me on board, and most importantly to our scientific team who's sitting among us, Maya, Ido, Lilach, and Reut, for their commitment and their amazing work. Thank you for your attention.
Dr. Haleli Sharir, thank you so much.